Section 1, Word Count 950. The script begins with Jake groggily waking up, his face contorted in confusion. Jake, muttering, "Ugh, what time is it? Feels like I got hit by a truck." He shifts under the blanket, then freezes as he feels something warm and squishy against his side. Slowly turning his head, he sees Zixel, his alien roommate, sprawled beside him, its gelatinous body glowing faintly. Jake, panicked, "What the?" "Zixel?" Zixel stirs, its gooey form jiggling as it sits up, tilting its amorphous head toward Jake. Zixel, cheerfully, "Ah, you're awake. Good morning, Jake." Jake, wide-eyed, "What are you doing in my bed?" Zixel, matter-of-factly, "Oh, we merged last night. It went splendidly." Jake, freaking out, What? No, no, no. I don't even want to know. Just get out." Zixel tilts its head again, genuinely puzzled. Zixel, "But why? The merging was quite successful. Your emissions synced perfectly with mine." Jake, groaning and face-palming, "Okay, let's take a step back. Merging, what does that even mean? And why were you in my bed?" Zixel ripples with excitement, clearly proud of its explanation. Zixel, Zorfians bond deeply during REM sleep. It's a natural process. I simply joined you to observe your human sleeping rituals, but your essence resonated with mine, triggering the merging process. Jake, sarcastic, "Great. My essence resonated. That's exactly what I wanted to hear this morning." Zixel, oblivious, "It is a compliment. You are highly compatible." Jake groans, pulling the blanket over his head as if to escape the conversation. Jake, muffled, "This is not happening. This is not happening." Zixel seems unbothered, casually sliding off the bed and oozing toward the door. Zixel, "You seem distressed. Is it because I did not ask permission? I did not realize it was necessary." Jake, peeking out, exasperated, "Yes. Permission is kind of a big deal, Zixel. Especially when it comes to sharing a bed." Zixel, thoughtful, fascinating. Humans are quite territorial about their sleeping arrangements. Jake, gritting his teeth, "Not territorial. It's just. Look, you can't crawl into someone's bed and start merging without asking first." There's a sudden knock at the door. Before Jake can react, a nosy alien neighbor, a spindly creature with iridescent scales, pokes its head inside. Neighbor, excited, "Oh my stars, is it true? Did you two finally bond?" Jake, horrified, "What? No. We didn't bond." Neighbor, ignoring him, addressing Zixel, "Congratulations. This is monumental for interspecies relationships." Zixel, proudly, "Thank you. It was a very successful merging." Jake, shouting, "Stop saying that." The neighbor gasps, pulling out a holographic recorder. Neighbor, gushing, "I must document this. A human Zorfian bond, it's unprecedented." Jake, frantically waving his hands, "No. There's no bond. There's no merging. It's all a misunderstanding." The neighbor backs out, looking unconvinced, as Jake slams the door shut. Jake, spinning around to face Zixel, "Do you have any idea what you've done? Now everyone's gonna think. I don't even want to say it." Zixel, blinking innocently, "That we bonded." Jake, sarcastically, "Ding ding ding. Give the gooey genius a prize." Zixel, genuinely, "Oh, thank you. But I do not need a prize." Jake sighs heavily, pacing the room, muttering to himself. Jake, "Okay. Damage control. I just have to explain to everyone that this was a big, stupid mistake." Zixel, curious, "Why explain? Is bonding with a Zorfian considered shameful among humans?" Jake, stopping in his tracks, flustered, "It's not about shame. It's about context. People will think we did things." Zixel, tilting its head again, "Did what things?" Jake, blushing furiously, "Adult things. Things that roommates don't do." Zixel, brightly, "Oh, I see now. You are concerned about your reputation. Do not worry. I will assure them that our merging was purely biological, not recreational." Jake, throwing up his hands, that doesn't make it better. Zixel pauses, as if contemplating Jake's outburst. Zixel, humans are very complex. Jake collapses onto the couch, covering his face with his hands. Jake muttering, why did I agree to this stupid interspecies exchange program? Zixel moves closer, its form jiggling with concern. Zixel, do you regret our arrangement? Jake, peeking through his fingers, no. I just regret waking up today. Zixel, genuinely, I can assist you with sleep again tonight if that would help. Jake, deadpan, never? Again. Zixel shrugs, or at least, it seems like a shrug, before gliding off to the kitchen. Jake stares at the ceiling, his face a mix of exhaustion and disbelief. Jake, to himself, it's fine. This is fine. I'll fix this. I'll fix everything. In the background, Zixel hums cheerfully, oblivious to the chaos it has caused. The script picks up with Jake pacing back and forth in his small apartment, his communicator buzzing nonstop. Every message flashes variations of the same question, asterisk. Is it true? Asterisk, his patience is wearing thin. Jake, muttering to himself, unbelievable. One innocent misunderstanding, and suddenly I'm the headline of the galactic gossip mill. The communicator buzzes again. Reluctantly, Jake answers, revealing his human supervisor on the other end, a stern woman with sharp features and a perpetually unimpressed expression. Supervisor, dryly, Jake. Care to explain why I just saw your name in an intergalactic tabloid? Jake, groaning, it's not what it looks like. Supervisor, raising an eyebrow, so you didn't bond with your Zorfian roommate? Jake, exasperated, of course not. Zixel just crawled into my bed for some weird alien sleep experiment, and now everyone thinks we're some kind of interspecies power couple. Supervisor, suppressing a smirk, and you didn't think to set any boundaries beforehand? Jake, throwing his hands up, I didn't know I had to. Zixel's the one who decided bonding was a thing. The supervisor leans back, clearly enjoying Jake's discomfort a little too much. Supervisor, well, congratulations. You're now the face of human-alien relations, literally. Jake, horrified, what does that mean? She gestures off-screen, and Jake pulls up a nearby holographic display. His face is plastered on a rotating news feed alongside a grainy image of him and Zixel through a window. The headline reads, asterisk, Love Beyond the Stars, Human-Zorfian Bond Sparks Debate. Asterisk. Jake, staring at the display, slack-jawed, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Supervisor, with mock sympathy, welcome to intergalactic celebrity, Jake. Try not to embarrass the species. She disconnects, leaving Jake fuming. Zixel slides into the room, humming a cheerful tune, blissfully unaware. Zixel, brightly, Jake. I just spoke to Mrs. Grithax downstairs. She said our bond has inspired her to reconnect with her third spouse. Isn't that wonderful? Jake, snapping, no, it's not wonderful. Do you realize the mess you've caused? Zixel pauses, tilting its gooey head in confusion. Zixel, mess? I do not see any mess. Jake, waving his arms, the metaphorical mess. Everyone thinks we're involved. Zixel, innocently, but we are involved. We share a domicile, food supplies, and now an interdimensional connection. Jake, gritting his teeth, not like that. Zixel ripples, its version of a shrug. Zixel, humans are so particular about terminology. Perhaps this is why you struggle with interpersonal relationships. Jake, sarcastically, oh, thank you, Dr. Philslime. That's exactly the advice I needed. Before Jake can launch into another tirade, there's a knock at the door. He hesitates, dreading who it could be. Zixel answers without a second thought, revealing a holographic drone hovering outside. Drone, in an enthusiastic robotic voice, greetings, bonding pioneers. I'm from Stellar Love Weekly. Would you mind answering a few questions about your interspecies romance? Jake, shouting from behind Zixel, we're not a couple. The drone buzzes closer, its camera focusing on Jake, who steps forward to glare directly into the lens. Jake, listen, there's no romance here. No bonding. Nothing. Zixel and I are just roommates. That's it. The drone processes this for a moment, then its voice takes on a conspiratorial tone. Drone, whispering, oh, I see. Playing coy. Very trendy. Jake, frustrated, I'm not. Drone, interrupting, your secret is safe with me. But do let me know if you release exclusive photos. Our readers would love a behind-the-scenes look. The drone zips away before Jake can respond. He turns to Zixel, who looks genuinely pleased. Zixel, that was nice. They seemed very interested in our story. Jake, gritting his teeth, Zixel, I am this close to locking you in the pantry. Zixel hums thoughtfully. Zixel, you seem tense. Is this not the recognition humans desire? Jake, throwing his hands up, not like this. Recognition is supposed to be for actual accomplishments, not some ridiculous rumor about whatever this is. Zixel considers this, then perks up as if it's had a revelation. Zixel, I understand now. You feel insecure because you have not contributed equally to the bond. Jake, spluttering, what? No. That's not, ugh, why am I even arguing with you? There's another knock at the door. This time, it's the neighbor from earlier, carrying a tray of alien pastries and grinning broadly. Neighbor, excitedly, I brought celebratory treats. It's not every day we witness such a groundbreaking relationship. Jake, desperately, for the last time, there is no relationship. Neighbor, ignoring him, addressing Zixel, don't be shy, dear. These are traditional bonding sweets. They'll strengthen your connection. Zixel accepts the tray eagerly, turning to Jake with its version of a smile. Zixel, isn't this kind of her? You should try one, Jake. Jake, dryly, oh sure. Why not? Let's celebrate the most humiliating day of my life with dessert. The neighbor claps her hands, clearly delighted, before leaving with a knowing wink. Jake collapses onto the couch, rubbing his temples. Jake, to himself, this can't get any worse. Zixel, sitting beside him, happily munching a pastry, cheer up, Jake. Perhaps this attention will lead to a promotion. Jake, groaning, I don't need a promotion. I need this entire planet to forget I exist. Zixel, brightly, that would be difficult. You are very memorable. Jake mutters, yeah, that's the problem. The atmosphere grows more chaotic as Jake finds himself bombarded by incoming messages from across the galaxy. His communicator is practically smoking from overuse, displaying a steady stream of headlines. Asterisk. Human-Zorfian bond sparks hope for peace. Asterisk and asterisk. Roommates or lovers? The universe wants to know. Asterisk. He slams it onto the table, exasperated. Jake, grumbling, great. Now I'm a walking tabloid feature. Zixel, entirely unbothered, is perched nearby, happily tinkering with a strange alien device. Its gooey form wobbles with what seems like amusement. Zixel, cheerfully, I have analyzed the situation thoroughly, and I believe I have a solution. Jake, dryly, oh good. Can't wait to hear this. Zixel waves its gelatinous appendage toward the strange device, which emits a faint hum. Zixel, this is a Zorfian empathic projector. With it, we can broadcast a message to the entire colony, explaining the true nature of our relationship. Jake, perking up, wait, really? That's actually not a terrible idea. Zixel, proudly, I thought so too. It will clarify that our merging was purely functional, devoid of romantic or reproductive intentions. Jake, grimacing, okay, you don't have to spell it out. Just, let's do this before another headline pops up. Zixel activates the projector, and a shimmering holographic interface appears. Jake clears his throat, staring into the projection nervously. Jake, awkwardly, hi. Hello, everyone. This is Jake, a human, and Zixel, my roommate. We just wanted to clear up some, misunderstandings about our bond. Zixel, enthusiastically, yes. Our merging was a beautiful convergence of biological processes, entirely devoid of any. Jake, cutting Zixel off, what Zixel means is, nothing happened. We're not a couple. We're just roommates, and that's all this is. The projector fizzles for a moment, then abruptly shuts off. Jake looks at Zixel, confused. Jake, did it work? Zixel, blinking, it seems I may have accidentally amplified the signal. Jake, panicking, amplified it? To where? Suddenly, Jake's communicator buzzes with a flood of notifications. He picks it up, his face going pale as he scrolls through messages. Jake, reading aloud, asterisk. Congratulations on your cosmic union. Asterisk asterisk. When's the wedding? Asterisk asterisk. Can humans even survive Zorfian courtship? Asterisk. He slams the communicator down, groaning. Jake, yelling, you made it worse. Zixel, innocently, I do not understand. I was very clear about the platonic nature of our merging. Jake, sarcastically, oh yeah? Super clear. Now half the galaxy thinks I'm the star of some interspecies rom-com. Zixel hums thoughtfully, as if unfazed by the escalating drama. Zixel, perhaps they misunderstood because humans are so private about bonding rituals. Jake, snapping, there are no rituals. No bonding. Nothing. How is this so hard to understand? The communicator buzzes again, this time displaying an official-looking message. Jake hesitates, then opens it. The screen projects an image of an alien council member, a stern, reptilian figure with an air of authority. Council member, serious tone, Jake of Earth, your recent actions have drawn considerable attention. The Intergalactic Alliance requests your presence at the upcoming Unity Summit to discuss the future of human-alien relationships. Jake, gaping, what? I didn't agree to. Council member, your bond with the Zorfian has become a symbol of interspecies cooperation. Your attendance is non-negotiable. The message ends abruptly. Jake stares at the screen, slack-jawed, as Zixel vibrates with excitement beside him. Zixel, excitedly, this is wonderful news. We have been chosen as ambassadors. Jake, horrified, ambassadors? I can't even explain this to my neighbors, and now I have to represent humanity? Zixel, comfortingly, do not worry, Jake. I will prepare us for the summit. We will simply explain the beauty of our bond in greater detail. Jake, panicking, and no more detail. That's what got us into this mess. Zixel tilts its head, clearly not understanding Jake's frustration. Jake buries his face in his hands, muttering to himself. Jake, muttering, how does this keep spiraling out of control? Zixel moves closer, its form glowing faintly with what might be concern. Zixel, Jake, are you unwell? Your face is leaking. Jake, sighing, it's called stress, Zixel. Humans do it when their lives fall apart. Zixel, curiously, fascinating. Shall I retrieve a towel? Jake, deadpan, sure. Why not? Add it to the list of things that won't fix this disaster. Zixel hums cheerfully as it oozes away, leaving Jake to sit in stunned silence. He glances at the communicator, dreading what fresh chaos it might bring next. Jake, to himself, just a normal day with a normal roommate. That's all I wanted. The communicator buzzes again, and Jake groans, burying his face in the couch cushions. The spotlight shifts to the Intergalactic Unity Summit, an imposing assembly of alien dignitaries, media drones, and curious spectators. Jake stands on stage beside Zixel, his palms sweaty as he grips a microphone. Zixel, as calm and gooey as ever, radiates unshakable confidence. Jake glances nervously at the massive crowd, realizing there's no escape. Jake, to himself, muttering, okay, Jake. Just keep it together. Smile, wave, and don't say anything stupid. The host of the summit, a tall, luminescent alien with tendrils that shimmer like fireworks, steps forward to address the audience. Host, with grandeur, esteemed beings of the galaxy, today we celebrate a monumental step in interspecies unity. Representing the newfound bond between humans and Zorfians, please welcome Jake and Zixel. The crowd erupts in cheers and strange alien noises. Jake cringes, offering a weak wave, while Zixel bows deeply, clearly basking in the attention. Zixel, whispering to Jake, they seem quite pleased with us. Perhaps you should smile more. Your face looks constipated. Jake, through gritted teeth, thanks for the pep talk. Really inspiring. The host turns to Jake, their glowing tendrils twitching with anticipation. Host, Jake, as a human, your kind has long been a mystery to many in the galaxy. Could you share how this extraordinary bond with Zixel began? Jake, nervously, sure. Well, it's not exactly what people think. He glances at Zixel, who nods encouragingly. Jake takes a deep breath, trying to muster some coherence. Jake, Zixel and I are roommates. Just roommates. This whole thing started because, Zorfians have this thing they do in their sleep, and I sort of accidentally triggered it. The audience murmurs in confusion, leaning in closer. Jake feels the heat of 1,000 alien eyes on him. Jake, awkwardly, it wasn't, romantic or anything. Just a misunderstanding. A big, galaxy-wide misunderstanding. The murmurs grow louder. Zixel steps forward, oozing confidence, literally, and takes over. Zixel, beaming, allow me to elaborate. Our merging was a purely biological synchronization, an exquisite dance of neurofrequencies and energy emissions. Jake, cutting Zixel off, no. Don't use words like exquisite and dance. You're making it sound worse. The audience burst into laughter, clearly entertained by Jake's flustered reaction. The host chuckles, their tendrils sparkling with amusement. Host, fascinating. It seems your partnership has brought much-needed levity to these proceedings. Zixel, still oblivious to the chaos it's causing, continues to address the audience with enthusiasm. Zixel, earnestly, I must commend Jake's adaptability. Though humans lack certain evolutionary advantages, he has proven remarkably resilient. Jake, deadpan, wow, thanks. Glad to know I'm holding my own despite being evolutionarily inferior. The audience laughs again, and Jake feels his frustration bubbling over. He turns to Zixel, unable to hold back. Jake, snapping, do you even realize how embarrassing this is for me? Everywhere I go, people think we're something we're not. Zixel, tilting its head, but why does it matter? The perceptions of others do not define our bond. Jake, sputtering, because humans, we care about how we're perceived. And right now, I'm perceived as some kind of intergalactic Casanova. Zixel hums thoughtfully, then addresses the audience directly. Zixel, seriously, it seems I have misunderstood human priorities. Allow me to clarify, Jake and I are not romantically involved. Our bond is one of mutual growth, trust, and the occasional sharing of food rations. The audience reacts with a mix of amusement and admiration. Jake pinches the bridge of his nose, muttering under his breath. Jake, to himself, oh yeah, that's totally going to clear things up. The host steps in, sensing the need to steer the conversation. Host, graciously, perhaps what truly matters is the example you've set. Regardless of intent, your partnership has inspired beings across the galaxy. Jake, sarcastically, glad we could inspire so much confusion. Zixel leans closer, its voice taking on an oddly soothing tone. Zixel, Jake, perhaps this is an opportunity to embrace. Change is difficult, but it often leads to growth. Jake, sighing, easy for you to say. You're not the one who has to live with memes about this for the rest of your life. The host signals for the summit to wrap up, offering a final flourish of glowing tendrils. Host, let us give thanks to Jake and Zixel for reminding us of the power of connection, no matter how unconventional. The crowd erupts into applause once more, and Jake forces a strained smile as he and Zixel exit the stage. Backstage, Jake collapses onto a chair, utterly spent. Jake, groaning, I can't believe I survived that. Zixel, cheerfully, you performed admirably. Perhaps this will lead to more opportunities to connect with other species. Jake, flatly, if by connect, you mean become a universal laughingstock. Then yeah, I'm nailing it. Zixel tilts its head, considering. Zixel, humor is a valuable skill, Jake. Perhaps this will enhance your chances of mating within your species. Jake, glaring, stop talking. Zixel hums, clearly unfazed, as Jake buries his face in his hands, resigning himself to his strange, intergalactic fate.